we'll go ahead and get started. March 3rd, City Council, Village Council minutes. Please stand for a prayer. If you sort of there, bow your heads. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We just thank you for this village, for its residents, for its service organizations, for everything and they do here in this community. We ask you to watch us and guide over us during these decisions and these council minutes. We ask you to watch over our employees here for the village and all the service, police and EMS and fire and the street and water and sanitary personnel. We ask you to be with them. We ask you to be with the residents as they go through their daily lives through this community. We thank you for all that you do and all that you are in our lives. We ask you to be with those who are sick and just need you with their healing prayers for them. We ask you to be with those who have lost loved ones this week and just be with the families through their time of loss and grieving and just guide them and direct them. We say this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Where's that Beverly at?
Oh, there he is. Sneak in.
There he is.
They said you passed away.
Says hearing aid. He needs hearing aid. All right. Roll call, please. Cheryl.
Bailey?
Here.
Beverly?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Egley? Here. Martin and Bassett are absent.
Mayor Baston. Okay. First off, we will start with Jamie Gherkin with the Defiance County Health Department. She has to come and be a part of council tonight and address some needs for the community in the county.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Gherkin. I'm the Health Commissioner with the Defiance County Health Department. We're coming actually to talk about our community health assessment. We're in the process of doing it, something we do every 3 years where we survey the community to get data to look at what the needs are of the community affecting Defiance County's health. So I'm actually going to pass it off, introduce Brian Heil. He's our health promotion coordinator. He's going to talk a little bit more about how we're doing it differently and why we're here.
So who's the Boy Scout?
Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
Baby face.
Ironically, I am a scout leader, and I'm missing scouts tonight, but not really, because we've got the Hicksville troop here tonight, so thanks for coming. So I'm not officially mission scouts. Thanks, Jamie, for the introduction. So we have our community health assessment and community health improvement plan. It's on a 3-year cycle. So 2024 was the end of the last cycle, and we're now into our new one, which is 2025 through 2027. One thing that we're doing differently that we're excited about is we're partnering with Defiance College to do the assessment this time around. We went away from the vendor that we used to use, and we find that this is being very helpful because we're able to take input from the community, any different groups. We have a lot of partners that are involved in the coalition that oversees the health assessment, and so we're able to take everyone's ideas, and because we're working with Defiance College, we can sort of incorporate those ideas, and we are driving the ship a little bit more than what we used to previously, which means we can bring a lot of the local connection concerns from community members and use that to inform our reports. Another thing we're excited about this time around, we've always conducted surveys with the exception of in 2021 because it was during COVID, we didn't have the capacity to re-survey the community. So we've not actually surveyed since 2018. We're doing surveys again this time around, and we did youth, adult, and child surveys. But what we're excited about this time around is we're collecting more information from different groups. We haven't always been great about collecting stories from people. We want to be able to have different groups of people tell us their stories, because then we can use that to create what's called the Community Health Improvement Plan. So some things we've done this time around is held different listening sessions. We're calling them community chats. So we've done one for a group of parents that participated in it. We had one hosted by the Latin American Club in Defiance for the Hispanic and Latino population in Defiance County. We did one for our rural population that included agriculture or farming families. And so one more group that we're hoping to do is for the Hicksville community. So with this group, we were sort of wondering if the group would like to help to promote the community chat. We're thinking about promoting it tonight, and then we could send flyers that could be distributed around the village. But we were hoping that we could hold the community chat 2 weeks from today, which would be the next night of Village Council, and potentially using Village Council as a way to advertise that, either having the chat before or after council. We've talked about different locations. One that we're looking at is the Huber Opera House. We're waiting to hear back from them. We partner with the Hoover Opera House on some other things. We have WIC clinics there, which is Women Who Fit Children program, as well as vaccine or immunization clinics there. And so it's a good partnership. We have them already. I don't want to speak for them, but I think they'd be willing to host this. We're just waiting to hear back. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has about the community health assessment or the community health improvement plan, but really just wanting to hold one specifically for the Hicksville population. We consider this with the hospital closing. It would be good to get any insight that the residents of Hicksville have on any concerns they may have about the health of their families or the future of their health, living in Hicksville.
Another maybe a decent, nice place to hold it would be the Park Pavilion. Also, I mean, I know we could get that to you rent-free that evening. We talked about doing it here, but we don't know when council's kind of going to be over. Maybe after council, but council could be half an hour, it could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half, so kind of thing. So can you explain maybe some of the main services that you do within the village of Hicksville? I mean, what you offer?
Yeah, a lot of things happen that people are not familiar with because a lot of it happens behind the scenes. But one thing that certainly anyone who lives in the county would use this service is vital statistics, so birth and death certificates. Those are issued, and anybody that lives in the village can request those from our office. Other things that we do, a lot of the rural infrastructure. So maybe if you're not on village sewer or water, this wouldn't apply to you, but those that maybe are living outside of the village, septic and well inspections, water testing, things like that. When Community Memorial was still open, we actually held like a water safety day, and people could come in and we would give them bottles, they could collect water samples, and we were kind of a pass-through to get their water tested. But for living inside of the village of Hicksville, something that we regulated in the past was the pool, which I understand maybe there'll be further discussion on that as far as the license. So I don't know for the splash pad if we're gonna have jurisdiction over that or not, if the water's being recirculated. Is the splash pad water being recirculated? So we have jurisdiction over that then. I'm kind of outside of the environmental side of things because I've transitioned over the last few years in my role. However, if splash pad water is recirculated, then those splash pads get a license from the local health department. So we'd ensure that the water chemistry is good, that the water is safe for people that are using the splash pad. And in terms of a pool, the same would go for a pool. Some other things that we get calls on would be if there's any type of public health concern. This could be potential public health nuisances. Sometimes, like if there's a life safety concern or something like that. If there's hoarding type issues, we get calls about bed bugs. So a lot of environmental health programs people would call. Some other things that we do would be any food license. So any of the food establishments in the village, we issue food licenses to those establishments, as well as carryouts. So anyone that sells any type of food has to have either a retail license or a food service operation license. So we issue those licenses, and then we conduct inspections to make sure they're following the food code. And it is actually, today was the last day by 4:30 to renew food licenses. So any businesses will hopefully have those renewed, but we inspect those facilities for that as well. Yeah, Jamie mentioned immunizations here, which I talked about. We do partner with the Hoover to do those clinics there. So we do immunization clinics once a month in Hicksville, and then our WIC gals come to Hicksville as well and use the Hoover Opera House to provide services. And that's WIC is a income eligibility for any women and their children that would qualify based on their income, and they can receive assistance in purchasing food. We also have breastfeeding services. That is a staff member that's a peer support for women that are breastfeeding, and they're able to use those services as well.
Right. Now, you said immunizations. I mean, is that the flu shots, different things like that for the community, or is it more specific?
Yeah, so we do, Jamie's touching me here, so we have a VFC program, which is vaccines for children. So we have a list of the vaccines that are recommended, for school vaccines, kindergarten, 7th grade, and anything in between, we provide those. We don't typically can we do flu shots for those that qualify for VFC?
So doing immunization has changed over the years. So with the passage of the Affordable Care Act, insurance is covered by private insurance. So the funding for our immunizations that we do, that funding went down. So the stock of immunizations we have are for those without insurance or for those who are on Medicaid. So those are the ones that we're doing at Hicksville. It's by appointment. So they'll call and we'll see kind of what they have, and if they do have private insurance, then we'll get them connected with where they can go to get those immunizations. Especially, in Hicksville, I know that we still have some providers who are here, but Hicksville has been an area that didn't have those VFC providers, so that's why we came here to offer that satellite clinic, because it was an area of need.
Right. You saw numbers start going up and more calls coming in and everything. And we appreciate you doing that for our
Yeah.
community and stuff like that, so thank you. All right, any other questions for the?
How well attended have the community chats been?
We've pretty much got to our target, so we don't want them to be too big. We wanted like 3 to 5 participants in each, and we've had that at the other chats that we've had.
Oh, so pretty small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Small and intimate, that way everybody feels comfortable with sharing what they're sharing, especially when you're talking about parents who are sharing about some struggles they had. But we want to continue the community conversation, so how the process goes is we get the data, and all of our partners look at what the data says and what issues we as a community or we as a county want to address. And then our hope is then to have more community conversations about how should we address this? What are some programming that you think would be good for our community, and what does that look like? What makes the most sense? So definitely something like Brian said with partnering with someone who's local in the college and they know our county and they are involved in our county, rather than being more of a cookie cutter plan like we've had in the past from a vendor, we are able to more target it specifically to our community, which we're really excited about.
Well, thank you. And if you want to get with Cheryl or myself for April, we can help you with some marketing once you pick a location and can let people know with the outreach for the community chat. So
Okay, thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Thank you for your time tonight.
Okay, thanks. And real quick, I didn't put this on the agenda because it was my fault, I forgot. But we have some guests here tonight. We have some scouts, right? You guys here to see us, talk to us and everything? You got a speech? No? Well, I'm gonna have Mr. Post and Mr. Carrier begin to stand up, introduce who we have here tonight. Each one of them maybe can introduce themselves.
I think just about everybody probably knows me from the Scouts. At this point, I'm probably the county's oldest merit badge counselor. Tonight, we have, why don't you guys stand up and say your name? Start with you, Waylon. One at a time.
Hi, I'm Waylon.
Waylon, what's your last name?
Hilty.
Okay.
I'm Charlie Carrier.
I'm Michael Bleck. Adrian Steele.
And I'm Titus Sanders.
These boys are in various stages of advancement according to whatever grade they're in, but tonight, we're here because these guys are finishing up their communications merit badge. So it's important for us to try to teach the boys different ways that people communicate. And one of the ways is to go to a council meeting, village council meeting, or a school board meeting, so they can see how the interaction is between the community and the people that run the meetings.
Sure.
So
We appreciate that.
we appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, we thank you for being here, and thank you for your program. How many years now has the Scouts been a part of Hicksville?
Well,
Go back when you started, 18? When
80,
did you start?
85 years, I think.
1851?
The program's 120 years old this year, so.
120, okay.
But I think Greg was in it probably 80 years ago, 70 years ago, something like that. For those of you that know Greg Brown, you appreciate that.
Did you guys come in together?
Tell him I said that. by the way.
Right. You guys came in together, right, about the same year?
Yeah. We'll talk about the mayor later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. And like I said, if you ever have any questions for us, you're more welcome to stop up. Most of us, administrator and the council and Cheryl and Rachel and everybody here tonight, we appreciate what you do in the community. You do a lot of community outreach. I know right now you're doing the can drive, right? Food drive?
We're right in the middle of scouting for food. Yeah, last week we put door hangers on everybody's door in town, and then this week we'll pick up, typically we pick up between 700 and 800 pieces on this Saturday, and we donate them right to the food bank right here in town.
So they need to have their cans and food out in a bag by the doors by this coming Saturday. You're gonna pick them up?
Yes, please.
Saturday morning?
Yep.
So, and the Scouts do all that, and you've done it for years, so we thank you for your outreach of collecting food and everything. That's wonderful. And thank you for all you do for the town. So, very good. Any questions for us? No? Thank you. Okay, we will move forward. We have approval of the February 18th and 24th council minutes. in your packet. Any questions?
The February 24th meeting minutes indicate that I was not in attendance. I'm fairly certain I was here. I voted numerous times, but
Make a note of that.
You must be Democrat.
We'll make note of that change.
other than that, I'm good.
I move you approve the minutes.
Second.
Roll call.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Egley?
Egley.
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Okay, you have a bills list in your packet. Questions?
I have a couple questions, Matt.
Good.
We spent another 31,000 for radio read meters. I thought we were done with those.
Nope, I have.
We can get close?
Yeah. But I will tell you, a lot of the meters that were originally put in are dying and.
They're failing already?
Yeah.
Wow.
When do we start changing the readers out? I mean, there's a cycle to all those, right? To
Gosh,
the meters.
Dennis would probably know when they originally started.
See, I took over in 2001,
We're starting.
so not too long after 2001.
Yeah. And we
They
do
started.
get some new ones that we'll put in and a couple weeks later they die. So we take them out. Obviously, we don't pay for those, those are warranty, but yeah, this is for the 2025 cycle.
Okay. And on the sludge disposal, where we paid Haviland Energy, that $4,000, is that for them to take the product, or was there trucking involved there, or?
$4,000 is for them to take the product, and then the ZTH trucking of.
That's to get it there?
Yes.
Okay. And the canine signal for $100, what was that for, Chief?
It's for the dog food.
Dog food? And that's all I have.
I just had a question. After you mentioned, how many meters does 31,000 buy? I mean, 100, 500, 2?
I think we were about, maybe 60, because there's 7.5 meters, and those are over $1,000 a piece.
All right. All right. Any other questions on the bills list?
Anything else?
Motion?
I'll move. Advance.
Second.
Roll call?
Miller?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Then we had boards and commissions meeting. You have a cemetery board meeting minutes in your packet. Questions? You know, Ron's our liaison on that board, so questions in regards to that?
Is this the same one that sent us the request for more money?
Mm-hmm.
Ron, what were your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's, I knew it was expensive to do things out there to start with, but since I've been on the board, I'm amazed that they can get by with what they have for everything that they do. Plus, they want to put we want to put a false setup for the rainy, snowy, muddy days when there's a funeral. We'll have a false setup up by that chin shed somewhere close. So there's a lot of expense out there.
What did we decide to do? Were we holding off on that till next budget cycle, or?
Robin's gonna let me know if she wants to wait till May for the decision. What's when we have our yearly meeting.
Okay.
Or if she wants to have it sooner, but I haven't heard from her yet.
I know I sat on that board for a long time before I got on it. We have not raised their fees in a long time, or the
12
amount of
years.
money that we've given them.
Yep.
So I think it's time. I know it's
12
the
years.
timing of their,
Wow.
Well,
yeah,
12
the
years
timing
without
of the
raise.
request
Yeah.
was past budget
Sure. Right.
session, but I know we addressed that with them. I talked to a couple people and then we'll run and talk about something we definitely need to take a look at within the next month or two, so.
Definitely want to get it done, like Cheryl said, get it done before the May.
Yeah. Good. Administrators report.
The only thing I have to add to that is, if you guys noticed, but the pole is up there on High and Maple, the new green pole put in. Industrial Drive, that light pole has also been put in by Owens Electric. Then out on Industrial Drive, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got about 100 and 150 foot linear feet of asphalt that has come apart in the center of the road. And that will get repaired when Chicago Avenue gets paved. I don't want to bring somebody to town and have them bring a, you know, spend the $3,000 for trucking for a mill to come in just for that.
The Ohio Asphalt, have you ever dealt with them before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? On what?
They did Meadow Lane, Beverly Drive. They've done some small paving for us here in town.
Weren't they the ones that had Maple Street all screwed up and we had to have it done over again? And the intersection at the Shell station?
It would have been Ohio Asphalt.
This would have been under your command, when Nagel brought the storm sewer down through here.
I don't remember any problems on Maple Street. I don't think they used high asphalt. I never dealt with it.
Okay, maybe I got the wrong company, but I know whoever was in here, I know Nagel couldn't get Gherkin, and whoever they had was bad.
Ohio Asphalt did Dixon Avenue as well for us, so.
Okay.
So they repaired all that too, though, or do we have that company come back and repair some of those bad spots?
Yeah, we finally, Nagel had Gherkin come back and redo the Shell intersection.
Right out back.
And some other spots that won't be there.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
I don't remember what sub they used. But
Right.
All right, any other questions for Corey? Okay. Thank you for the report. Next on the agenda, we have the solicitor's report.
First reading of resolution 2025-06 by caption only to allow administrator to apply for a CDBG grant for the Columbia Hattery Water Main Replacement Project and declaring an emergency.
Do we have enough people to suspend the rules? No. Never mind.
Is that gonna mess up the grant timing, or is it?
I have until March 7th.
That's Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Bob to send in for one of these guys.
Yeah, if we voted in a stop on. How's that situated? I mean, you can't do anything.
In the first reading, we'll do the second reading next time.
All right. Is that a pretty sizable grant, isn't it, for that project? Or yeah.
Asking for quite a bit of money there, yeah.
Alrighty. That's all she had. Department heads, who wants to go first? You're number one on the list here.
And so I don't really have anything, except you should have calls for service and cases for the month of February.
Yeah, it was on our packet. Chief Derek?
I don't have anything besides, we have 2 firemen that's want to extend their certification to level 2. They started this past weekend. They will go for 6.5 weekends down at Bryan Fire. That gave us an invite. That's based on a grant. So give those guys support. Level 2 firefighting can be difficult. Then we also have one going through the 36-hour course, and that starts next weekend on Saturday. So we have 3 total people going through a fire class. So as we get along, we look forward to supporting those guys and helping them through.
Bruce?
Last month we had approximately 61, 62 runs. We are now, for the year, as of today, we are at 133 runs, which puts us well on pace for well more than what we had last year. Being what we've had so far this month, we are on pace for close to 90 to 100 runs, which we break 100, you know, I might get gray or two. So I did get some information that there are grants available now through the state of Ohio. Anybody that would like to become an EMT, an advanced, or a paramedic we can get you qualified to get up to $2,000 to help pay for the school. And Fort County is an approved site for the grants. So other than that, that's pretty much all I have until I can meet with PFE.
Is that $2,000 per person, and is there?
Per person, it's with a $30,000 per year limit.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
What's it cost? What's that school cost?
So as of right now, the basic class is 1,800 with with the books. It takes it over 2,000. The advanced class is 2,000, and then you have another 250, and then the paramedic is roughly about 11,000. So, and I do have, like I said before, I do have 2 people that are looking at doing the paramedic, but I would like to talk to you guys about that. So
Possibly we can, after the meeting, can y'all, you and Rob, stick around for just a few minutes and we'll set something up? Thank you.
absolutely.
First I have a question.
Sure.
Out of these 133 runs, maybe you can't tell me, but you've done this long enough,
Yeah.
like when CMH was functioning down there.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say percentage-wise of these 133 runs where these people would have drove themselves to the hospital rather than being transported?
Well, you know, that's a good question, because right now what we're seeing is people are getting sicker. They're not, so like when the hospital was here, they might get a little cough, they drive down to the ER, they get an antibiotic and go home. Now they're waiting until the very last second to call. So I would say that you're probably a good 50%, at least.
Would normally have taken themselves?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at the past couple of years. We've been averaging right around that 40 to 45 runs per month. So again, with us opening up all of Milford, I mean, it's not like we go up there a lot, but the amount of runs that we've had here in the village has just exploded. And I get it, people don't have that resource to drive down there to the hospital, and then they do wait. So, yeah, so you're probably looking, I would say that you probably 50 plus runs that are because the hospital's not there.
What about, out of your over 100 that you've done so far, how many of those refuse service, or like today when you were dangerous and you didn't need to be out there?
So, the refusal of service, you're probably looking at about 15, 10, 15. I mean, there's not a whole lot. And granted, we do have a handful of fire runs inside that number, but just there, that's something that, and I put this out there before, that everybody has to remember. Even if it's a fire call, we go.
Right.
Yeah. So about the only time that we don't go is if they get called to another town. So, and just to let you know, we did get a call up to Williams County for mutual aid up there. So, you know, everybody's kind of hurting, but you know, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for us to go somewhere else too.
When was your call for mutual aid? Do you remember when that call was?
Last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah, 2 weeks ago. So.
All right,
Thank
any
you,
questions?
Bruce.
You guys are good with committee and stuff and talk about things?
Yep.
Thank you. Cheryl, you're up.
Monitor basic fund status report, cash summary. And don't even look to compare how much has come in and how much has gone out so far this year, because it's so scary. I have included the February utility and income tax reports and the January and February revolving loan reports. And everybody's up to date.
Any questions for Cheryl?
I just guess in general, when can we stop getting scared?
Never.
There you go. So people hear that.
Our numbers will look better because in March we will receive our property tax.
That's what I was gonna ask you, you get that twice a year then?
Yes.
Okay. And they do it, you get it as soon as March?
Wow.
That is pretty great. I wasn't there long enough to remember.
All right, no questions for Cheryl then. I can do my mayor's report. Real quick, just quick prayers and thoughts. Bonnie Poper, 94 years old, was helped a lot at the community bargain box for years. She helped run that, but she passed here yesterday morning, Sunday morning. So she helped a lot within the community. Nice lady and raised here. So the health screening was hosted this last weekend, or last couple days here, this Thursday through Saturday. Heather Scott did that. I thank her for bringing that to our community with the blood screening, and hopefully it went well with her. So, and people took advantage of that service here at our community at the Park Pavilion. Here recently, just a little kudos and acknowledgements. Dr. Haggerty has officially moved to the Farmers and Merchants State Bank. He is operating, as we've heard, and I think the other doctor is starting up there also maybe. But his company is called the Hicksville Sport and Spine. He's embedded there with the Hicksville Wellness Center. That's the new doctor kind of come into town. So the address is 115 North Main Street, so it's the back side of the building. His entrance to get into Dr. Haggerty's office. He's open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And sometimes as early as 7 a.m. if you have to have early morning appointments. He works with people. So he's relocated. Grace Nye is also relocating. She was in Willpower Fitness. She is moving to the 145 East High Street next to Tribune, and between Tribune and Choice Physical Therapy. Her company's name is Your Truly Aesthetic Studio. I think she does facial and skincare products and helps people with those kind of things. So we've had 2 local companies kind of relocate and set up their own shops here within the community. So we're fortunate to have all these new companies kind of staying in town and renovating some businesses and buildings here in the community. So we thank them for that. Being tax time, I wanted to remind the residents and everybody, you have to file your taxes with the village. Kim's office, Kim Forrester, her office hours are 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. You know, that's one of our ordinances and local things that people need to do to live and work here. So that's all I had. Again, March 7th was Inclusion Day for Defiance County Developmental Disabilities. They've asked people to wear purple and support people with disabilities on March 7th here in the county. So that's it. Any questions for me? No? I was going to ask for a motion for executive session for property acquisition possible.
I will make that.
Yeah, let's do a second motion.
Second. Roll call.
Miller?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Bailey?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
I think that's all we have. I don't think we need to.
Thank you, Scouts, for coming up.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to you.